big complaint, is that they're not able to access fresh food in these neighborhoods. Well, Walmart just left Chicago. You know, I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. Walmart just pulled out. Why did Walmart pull out? Is it because of redlining and white racism? Or did Walmart pull out because people kept stealing? They pulled out because people kept stealing.
That argument is a non sequitur, though.
Why is it non sequitur?
It's a non sequitur because talking about food deserts and trying to equate that to why you inherently believe that Black and Hispanic people are genetically and inherently less intelligent. It's a non sequitur to talk about why Walmart is no longer in Chicago.
Here's the correlation.
I want to touch on that too. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the point, is that whenever there's a conversation about because fundamentally the conversation's about the disparity between Blacks and whites, which is persistent in wealth, unemployment, income, all these things. And really there's two explanations. And one is circumstance, historical disadvantage, these kinds of things, which you might call nurture, so-called. I mean, for lack of a better word.
Bro,
the other argument is that
just legendary.
Blacks and whites are different. And they're genetically...
Nick Fuentes is on the Fresh and Fit podcast saying Black people are a standard deviation IQ lower, and he just said this on a panel of only Black women. This is nuts.
Mean that there are no Black people with an IQ over 100, obviously, but it does mean that on average there are fewer of them. And if that's the case, this has real world implications. There's going to be a reason why the Black schools perform worse than the white schools, and it's got nothing to do with the school, the funding, the public policy, and it's got everything to do with their innate faculties in the beginning.
Hold on, wait.
Your claims,
Because
I need to hear.
I want to go.
This is so crazy.
Yeah, and
as a Black
so
woman
crazy,
who is in
dude.
education, this is something
This conversation is so impossible to have anywhere, and it's being had on Fresh and Fit in front of 12,000 people. This is crazy.
I do believe a lot of the struggles that the Black community is facing.
I've only heard this type of conversation with like Alex Jones or other people. This is truly I can't express how like crazy this is for the internet right now.
I don't see why there is
this
any
conversation being
genetic.
had. I mean, Jordan Peterson tried to have this conversation with a guy, and it was abstract, and it was a great conversation. They did a good job, but man, this is like
the
really confronting a potential problem
genome.
that personally I never thought I'd be speaking about on YouTube because it's just too radioactive. But I've seen the research as well.
You know, Black people and white people, they have all kinds of different characteristics, different skin color, different gestation period.
Nick Fuentes is saying, I'm not even a fan of him. I don't know what he says, but I'm listening to what he's talking about right now, and this is revolutionary stuff for YouTube.
I think it's the highest, and then it's whites, Hispanics, and then Blacks.
But everything how is that following the argument that we're
here's the
having
argument.
here? Okay.
So if we agree that there are already differences that we can see, if there's physical differences, then it would follow if the brain is 50% of the human genome, it would be ridiculous to suggest that whites and Blacks and Hispanics and Asians all have the same brains.
Intelligence isn't necessarily phenotypic, though.
100% is. What is intelligence? There's a stronger correlation that intelligence is genetic than so many other things. It's a heritable trait. That's not even disputed.
So let's stop there. Because if we're talking about how education is more... No, because if we're talking about how education is more genetic...
If we are talking about, not if we talking about.
Meaning passed down some kind of way. That's in with...
Intelligence is completely genetic, barring malnutrition, basically. If you're that's the only thing that can really stunt growth is lack of sleep and nutrition.
And Americans being lower than whites, it's only because you
can't raise your IQ, but you can lower it.
Not given education for so long.
That's not true, though.
Right.
That is very true.
It's not because when y'all got us from Africa, you got the greats. You got the scientists. You got the alchemists. You got all the greats. What y'all thought was great. What y'all thought were. And when I say y'all,
I had to. Yeah, this is crazy. Are you watching it right now?
Dude, it's fucking crazy. Not only am I watching, I'm recording right now, brother. Dude, this is crazy. Dude, this is revolutionary for the internet.
Dude, he actually just went in there. He went into race realism on fucking FNF. It's crazy.
Bro, he actually just fucking said it. And Myron's just looking at the camera and shit. Dude, he literally just said Black people have a lower IQ. Like, bro, this is fucking crazy.
But when you
bad.
know yourself and you know your history, we can have this
bro.
conversation.
Okay, I'm not going to pause it because I want to stay completely live. I'm just going to mute it so I can talk to you. Dude, this could literally get Fresh and Fit banned. I was saying.
It really is.
Dude, I was saying. Okay, this is so cool that we're calling right now because, dude. Okay, I was just saying, like, I'm not a fan of Nick Fuentes, but because I don't really know what he says fully, but. I know this is revolutionary for the internet. Like, this is actually crazy. This is the only time I've ever heard a conversation like this was with Alex Jones. Like, and that wasn't on YouTube. Like, and I mean, the closest thing I can think of would be like Jordan Peterson having a conversation, a very abstract conversation with like this sort of, biologist. But they did not go here, bro. And they're just having this conversation straight up.
Whoa.
This is so crazy.
You made your statement that you think interracial.
You realize they're going to.
It's crazy. He's making a genetic argument, but they're making a nurturing argument, saying they didn't have resources. That's why their IQs are low. They're just completely missing the point.
Right, but what they don't understand is that it's completely genetic. IQ is completely and utterly genetic. The only way you can lower IQ is by malnutrition and lack of sleep. That's the only way, pretty much. It is completely and utterly genetic. And the fact that they're going to have this conversation, bro. I mean, we're only 40 minutes in. They're going to have this conversation for at least another 2 hours. This is literally revolutionary. I think. Dude, I don't really know what they're doing. I think they must be willing to be banned because there's no way.
I'm pretty sure. From what I heard, they got a really big bag on Rumble, and to complete the bag, they need to completely transfer over. They're trying to get banned.
Oh, for real? For sure. Okay. Holy fuck! Yeah. I mean, dude, we'll obviously keep watching it, but dude,
business is business, but still,
dude, I can hear the excitement in both of our voices because we know that this is leading somewhere that has never been gone before. This is crazy. This is exciting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Look how strong the African American community was when we were separate. Look how far the black dollar was.
Dude, you said you didn't want to call earlier, dude. What was that about?
Now what we're doing is we're fighting against people like.
No, I just wanted to watch it myself because I like Nick Fuentes. I wanted to watch it myself, but after what he said, I had to watch it with you. It's too crazy. That's too much shit.
I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it myself, and then I heard him say blacks have lower IQs, and I'm like,
mentor them in a education sense. Like, I will take them under my wing. And I do that for Black and Hispanic people more than I do that for white people because
and you
the whole standard deviation too, dude. I'm gonna pull up.
I'm
gonna stand up. I'm gonna pull up a bell curve just to show people
viewpoints
that could be watching this.
Saying, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna help you with this MCAT equation," but also when you're like successful, make sure you only date within your race. I would never
do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, that's what I was
saying.
saying.
Guys, this is not IQ discussion right here. As you can see, Genius is over at 140 and Retarded is over at 60.
With race mixing. I know she does. One, well, y'all obviously do. I was going to ask you guys, do you guys have white parents?
Yeah, I was like, my mom is white, so there's no way I couldn't.
Mom is white, dad is black?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I was like, no,
that's fine. So you guys agree with race mixing. You do too? Are you mixed as well?
Yes, I am Haitian, but I'm also Dominican and Venezuelan.
Okay. You can make the argument.
It's so crazy that Myron is
happy. And Myron agrees to everything too. It's funny as hell.
I know.
What do you think?
Dude, dude, I saw his face as soon as Nick said blacks are a whole standard deviation lower in IQ. Myron just laughed at him. Dude, this is so savage.
Okay, so you two think, hey, keep it in the.
You're totally right about them willing to be banned going wrong. There's no way.
Yeah, they're trying to get the bag.
Wait, look. I'm watching on YouTube right now. They're literally advertising at rumble.com. You're right.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Letting people have their preference and exercising that.
I agree.
I wonder how they're. It's weird because their audience is like so many black guys. It's definitely uncomfortable.
Bro, holy fuck! I just realized something. I'm gonna mute it so I can tell you this. I just realized something. Do you realize what they're willing to give up right now? They probably make like at least $200,000 a month from YouTube.
From super chats, definitely.
Yeah, bro. Like this is what they're willing to give up. Must be so fucking insane.
Yeah, dude. I heard some deals like a kick and I heard like Rumble gave Ricecom a big ass bag. I can't only imagine the bag they gave Fresh and Fit. It's crazy.
Bro, that must be it. They must be offered like fucking $10 million or something crazy like that. Because oh my god, bro, imagine working your ass off for 1.5 million subs and then. Yeah, they gotta have a big offer on the table. You're so right about this. It's so cool we can watch this in real time because there's no way. I'd bet 90% chance that Fresh and Fit is not on YouTube in 2 weeks. There's no way. If they are, I'd be shocked.
Because I think it's an important distinction. You said that
I want to listen.
God would want to see us as unequal in terms of IQ or worth. But that is the distinction because we can say that people are unequal qualitatively without saying that they're unequal before God, which is my position. Because, and we talked about this on the earlier show.
True. That's true.
When you look at individuals, no two individuals are equal. If I stand next to Myron, he's taller than me.
Yeah.
You know, and if I stand next to somebody else, we're going to be unequal.
This guy's not
and I think
coming
groups are
across as
unequal
that
too. I
extreme
think
right now.
that inequality
He does
is
deny the
just a
Holocaust,
state
which
of
is
nature. I
fucking
don't think you
extreme.
find equality in nature.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The important thing
He
is
just said
though,
he loves
and it's
everything
like
about
you
Hitler.
said, we have to love each other. The equality
I heard that actually.
we bring to the table is that everyone has a soul.
I feel like that has
Everybody's
to be
equal
gay.
before God. And I agree with
I
you.
love
People
how
should be
Chris
treated
deliberately
with care
stacked
and
the panel with
kindness
black
and
girls.
that sort of
W.
thing.
Dude,
But that being
W,
said,
massive
and this
W.
is why it's important to be specific. When I look at other people, I think it's
This is
important
so
to treat
crazy for
them
the
with
internet, man.
dignity,
Holy fuck.
respect,
I had to
love,
believe.
that sort of thing.
I agree.
At the same time, that's totally different from saying, like, the government is racist or the government shouldn't be racist or things like this. Here's what I mean. The government has to take into account that people are different.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, like when we have this mass immigration into the United States, the people that are coming here are different from the people that are here. You know, they have a different ancestry, different culture, different background. They speak a different language. So look at those people and say, well, you know, we got to treat these people exactly the same in the spirit of equality. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same.
But why
I don't
not?
know
But
if
they
I
are.
ever
Why
necessarily
not,
made
though?
the argument of equality. I don't know if I said that because I have my own views about equality.
I mean,
think
they
that
have to be treated
equity is
equal
much
under the
more
law, right?
Yeah.
efficient for society, for even relationships and families.
Otherwise, you don't really have
But
a
I
law.
think what I'm getting tripped up with and the sticking point that I'm having with your arguments is when you're saying like one specific race is inherently lower intelligence, that opens the door for
On
so
average, though.
many.
On
not-
average.
See, but
and
that's
you
a
believe it's
statistical
but you
statement. That's
believe
not a
it's like a
fucking
genetic
opinion.
component that opens the door for so many people who maybe are not a part of that racial group to disrespect the genetically lower intelligence.
It's a sensitive subject.
And I believe, I really
It's
do
the
believe
most
in the goodness of you as a
sensitive.
person, just the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak. But when I'm assuming you're probably a guy that is like very polarizing and has millions of followers and viewers. There's probably at least a handful of people, or like a percentage worth of a handful of people who take what you are saying and use it in a very, very, very ugly way.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, you know, I'm bombastic about it. But in truth, it's not just about putting black people down. And I talk about that a lot because I don't think that black people should be put down. In fact, I think that a lot of their grievances are legitimate. The problem is, though, what you find is it gets mixed up with rhetoric like what you said, where you said God made white people to laugh as a joke. Like, and I'm not trying to put you down for saying that, but I mean, all I'm trying
Wait,
to say
she
is the
said
same
that?
could be said really about
That's
any
so
kind of
racist.
statement.
What the
Like,
fuck?
we can listen to
Anti-white
grievances,
resentment right there.
That's
historical or
literally
otherwise, that
racist.
people have. By the same token, people could take an historical grievance and say, well, we have a right to be racist against white people because it's a bad joke that God made them. In the same way that, you know, you could take something like I said and twist it. As far as the IQ goes, though, it's stratified. Asians have the highest, then whites, Hispanics, blacks in terms of average. The only reason I say that is
Fucking Asians.
if we want to help everybody,
Like how you mentioned
we have
Jews.
to kind of meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You can't admit
if
it.
that's the problem, then
Dude,
throwing more
wait,
money
you're
at
right,
it's not
that's
going to
cope,
fix
isn't
it.
it?
Exactly, and I
You know,
agree with
That's
that.
cool.
Okay, so
on.
since we're on, okay,
Real quick.
I want to hear from Glow, though.
What
yeah,
are
go
your
ahead.
thoughts on it? Because you didn't talk at all on your thoughts as well. So these two right here.
On what?
For example, he just said on the scale, black people are lower IQ. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I just like don't agree with a lot of what he's saying. He said some stuff earlier about how
I don't
apparently
agree with what he's
everybody's
saying.
brains are different,
That's
which
literally
I don't know
scientifically true that
that's,
our
like,
brains are different.
scientifically
Right.
It's
possible
literally
that
the true
a black
objective
person's
reality.
brain is different than a white person's. I
I
don't
think
know.
he was
Express-
hypothetically speaking.
no, he was serious.
No, he's like
Nick, do you wanna-
trying
do you wanna
to say
explain
like
that?
that
Yeah,
was
a
like
little
a
bit, he's
fact.
serious.
Well, I mean that, you know,
Do you see the
there's this
irony
idea
of
we
him having
have?
to
We talk,
explain intelligence and statistical distributions over a point about IQ differences?
we call it as human biodiversity, meaning there's biological diversity within the human population. So, you know, white and black and Hispanic and Asian people are distinct categories of people.
Minority is what you guys call
People.
it.
Because minority is, I mean, in America, whites are going to be in the minority in a decade. You know?
Not if you have anything to say about it.
You're right. You're right about that.
I'm trying to make light. This is an intense conversation. I'm
It's
trying to
cool.
bring light.
Well, hold on. So Did that answer your question? No, she wanted to know how the brains are different based on race. That's
so
what
here's the
trying to
thing:
say.
is
I'm
that
just trying to see where you got all this information.
So
'cause,
stupid.
Like that just doesn't make sense.
What's really painful is that they're not speaking with proper English.
We are good people. Like,
Makes it 10 times worse.
That's really
Do you guys
damning.
know what he specifically said?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he specifically said?
Yeah, he said that like black people, white people, Asians, whatever, they all
IQ
got different
levels.
brains. How do we have different brains?
No.
Like,
What he said is that, well, I mean, that's a
How do
component
you
of
have
it, but what the
brains?
real
Like,
bottom line
meanwhile,
is that he's saying that
insert clip of black women twerking on an ambulance.
They don't have a problem with that, Myron. They don't have a problem with that. They have a problem with the fact that he thinks that black people's brains are different than a white person's brain. They understand the hierarchy, and I understand that too. I understand how
like genetically different.
But to sit here and say, "Oh, I know a black brain is different than a white brain,"
how?
I mean, one's darker.
Because y'all experimented on us. Because y'all experimented on us.
Here's what I mean by that.
So you're hearing the
Go
shit.
ahead, Nick, because I think I know what you mean, but I don't know what's in your mouth. Go ahead.
So we have different skin colors. That's a genetic difference.
Okay.
And black people look different than white people. Not even just their skin color. Like if a black person turned white all of a sudden, like you could still
like my lips will go away.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could distinguish that you look black. Like your face looks black. My face looks
I look
white.
like royalty, baby. Let's go.
Sure. And
Oh my
it's so sensitive.
Let's let him finish his point so that she can understand where he's coming with the brain thing.
So the point is like people say race is just we're all the same, but just in different colors. And I'm saying that we're different in other ways too. We're genetically different in other ways. Our bone structure is different. Our faces are different. Our skin color is different. And then the point is to say, when we talk about IQ, people say, well, how could black people or white people or Asian people have a different average IQ? Well, their brains are probably genetically different, just like their skin color, just like their bones, just like other things. And so it's to say it would be ridiculous to suggest that every person in the world would have the same average IQ. Why would that make sense?
Okay. Right.
We're not talking about IQ. We're talking about
this is all his
brain.
This is his opinion though. Because keyword was probably.
Yeah.
Why are you saying our brains aren't even?
How are bones
Did that answer the question or
Our
no?
bones and brains.
like our bones are different.
You're literally denying that our bones are different.
I'm talking about the physical brain that we all have and we're born with.
He did mention that we're all different.
You actually can tell a person's
I
race from their
understand
bones.
that, but like that doesn't mean our brains are different. Like IQ wise, that's like shit you learn throughout life. Like you know what I mean?
No, IQ is not what
So you're just like born with a low IQ? Is that what you're saying?
No.
He told you the answer, but I guess you're not like taking it for what it is.
Okay.
But real quick, thoughts on this real quick. You didn't say anything either.
I'm smart, so.
Hold on. So you get it, right?
Thank you, good.
Oh my God.
I think. Okay. Let me distill what he was saying. Okay. I think what he said is very simple. He said, based on race, people have different features, different looks, different skin tones. Hell, even different muscle fibers. African Americans, we know, have more fast-twitch muscle fibers, which is why it's easier for them to build muscle mass than other races, etc. Right? Height levels, whatever. So what he's saying is that on the physiology side, we're all different.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times races have a lot of similarities. Then he went on to say, well, we also have different IQs.
Asians have small
Since we have
dicks,
different
etc.
IQs, it would make sense. And the logical conclusion would be our brains are different as well.
Right.
Because if we're different,
Dude, I think she got the other end of the question. Unfortunate.
your brain is obviously your IQ. Yeah. Then we probably have different brains as well, because on average, right, the races have different IQs. We know Asians are at the top, whites are in the middle, and then blacks are on the lower end typically. But he's saying if our IQs are lower, that by definition means that our brains are different as well. So that's, I think, the logical conclusion he came to.
Right,
And
but
to
again,
Nick's
that's
point-
just not factual. He said it with so much conviction, and that's the problem with people like him. They say things that are opinionated that isn't necessarily factual, and say it with so much conviction that
tests.
logically it follows, but there's no science that backs that up.
People like
It's funny too. It's actually
What is that supposed
scientific
to be?
consensus by most psychologists. It's just the debate is whether it's biological.
Right. It's an unacknowledged fact. I think a lot of people know. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know.
Did that make sense when I distilled that?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
If the physiology is the same, that means, and IQs are different, that means, well, the brains are probably different too. That's what he's trying to say.
But to Nick's point, he did also say that before God, we are equal.
Yeah.
And which that is fact.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think it's very important for people to understand, especially, and I'm not saying this in a classist way. I understand education is privilege, but if you don't have the education of knowing how to interpret research correctly, you're going to be very hindered with the way that you think about life. We have to understand that correlation does not always equal causation. So humans like to think very linearly. Oh, racial groups have different stratifications of standardized test scores, for example, which means this is wrong, but races must inherently genetically be different in intelligence. That is an incorrect statement. Correlation does not equal causation. The reasons are oftentimes multifaceted. Opportunity, resources, childhood, family life, home life, so on and so forth. IQ. I have never heard any type of research that shows there's a genetic difference between the races and their intelligence. I wouldn't even know how to physically measure, like, is it the neuronal connections? Is it the glucose utilization in the brain that is making the IQ higher? I don't know what that would be. I've never read those studies.
Yeah, we don't even got to go there because there's no way that we can even prove that as a fact sitting at this table. That's like a losing argument.
Right? You can't keep going.
No, we can't because you're not a scientist, Bill Nye.
We can't because look,
a science guy.
The literature on this is not disputed at all. I mean, if you look at
there's literature on this.
There is.
Okay.
Can you state the
because they're trying to say that there's no literature.
Yeah, I really just said that it's not fact.
I feel like as scientists cite your
like it's not.
Ladies, please let us speak.
It's not, I mean, you can do your own research on this, but it's not a controversial thing at all that blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics stratify along those lines in IQ tests.
That's not
that's not what we're debating right now.
Yeah.
No, I said you don't have any science to back up the brain aspect of it, baby.
You're missing the point.
It's funny how she can't understand what he's saying while talking about you.
I understand the IQ difference in present right here.
No facts behind my brain being different because I'm black and yours is different because you're white. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you're missing the point. The point was to say that IQ as a function of brain. That was the point. So you're sort of missing the point.
Can we be saying the fact that there's different tiers of IQs based on race must mean that the brains are different based on race?
Actually, a very simple topic. I was expecting this to become more abstract, but I guess we shouldn't have been surprised that these women are becoming extremely,
of course,
triggered and incoherent.
These are all opinions.
So we can agree to disagree on this topic.
I wish they brought on Brandon Carter or someone like that.
Have anything before?
No, I want to share something. Okay, this is inspirational. Okay, you guys, K through 12, I was like a completely deficient student, C's, B's, like not very good at all, didn't believe in myself. Got into college, did really well.
Affirmative,
and now
dude, I know what you're
to
thinking.
medical school. So this is why I'm like very passionate about not believing that it's just completely nature, because I do believe, that it's not completely nature and that it can also be nurture, because my environment changed when I got into college and now I'm falling out.
And I'll piggyback off that because since
she's not going to make
it. Quest to go to law school.
Oh my God.
Something about the LSAT is that the way it's written, it's literally written
racist.
No, not racist, but it's actually inclusive because it's written to a standard that no matter socioeconomics, background, anything. If you study the correct way, you could be a bum living under a bridge and you can still score high enough because the verbiage, the types of questions, it's literally about things that you can learn.
Yeah.
It's not about anything else that like
it just hurts the argument so much more when they're using broken English. That's so sad.
So ladies, you guys are all familiar with the fact that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard?
Yes.
So I understand where you're coming from. That hey, I beat the odds, etc. But you got to also remember that being a hard worker doesn't necessarily mean that you have IQ and it goes the other way around. Because there's a lot of people that have high IQ that are lazy as fuck and don't make it in life either. Right. So I've always said that there's a lot of people that are book smart that do well in school, but they're still morons. I mean, we brought them on the show plenty of times. Like girls that have high level degrees and they're still idiots. So I would say education and schooling and being a good student doesn't necessarily mean you are intelligent.
It's just your drive.
We should all take you should do one time, like everyone takes an IQ test and then like comes on.
That'd be funny. But just to your point as well. Yeah. Like you said earlier, your choice of wanting to learn and become better made you who you are today.
Yeah.
So even though we might have, for example, like issues of schooling, environment, and these other external issues. If you're a person that wants to do better for yourself, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter, Chinese. Once again, it's all on you as an individual to do better for yourself.
And I would argue that it is nurture far more than it is nature.
It's really sad how they can't have an abstract conversation about statistical realities. At this point, I've trained my brain to basically only think in those terms. When I think about anything, I think about it in terms of a distribution. It's really pathetic how they can't have this conversation and have it be a simple, mundane, easily comprehended notion of there's a distribution of IQ. They can only talk about individuals because they're just mentally, I guess, undeveloped. Not being able to understand statistics in the abstract is a sign of being mentally undeveloped.
It tells us, though, well, like
100% can't. I think an abstract is a sign of low IQ.
And there's a lot of things. A bald person can't make themselves grow hair, and that's.
I used an invasive hair transplant. Genetically, I would have been bald, so he's correct.
So the point is that, although the reality might be that genetics matter a lot, I think have a tendency it's wishful thinking that it's not so. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to these attributes, the answer is yes, inequality is real. It should make us uncomfortable. It's a fact. We see it all the time. And so many of the culture war issues are about inequality. Like when you look at the dating stuff or the sex, incel stuff, it's about inequality. Gender stuff, it's about inequality. Race stuff,
fuck the
inequality.
Incels, dude. They just need to become impressive,
and
honestly.
the answer to inequality is that people are more than matter. People have souls. People are not just, what their product of their labor is, or their house, or how tall they are. People are created by God. So the answer to inequality is not to ignore it and not to get offended by it or make it uncomfortable. We have to take those things into account to govern society, because we can't solve problems if we don't know the real causes. And so I posed earlier, what's the persistent fact is black and white inequality. What's the answer? Is it racism or circumstance, or is it genetics? People should be open-minded about the genetics because we want to solve it, but we should love people regardless of, whether that inequality is baked in.
Bro,
or
he's not sounding hateful right now.
So
I'll be honest. He's not. This is not hateful rhetoric at all.
Okay, then her.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's just a radioactive conversation, but it's not. This isn't hateful.
But you just had me think. You just had me think about something. Because if it's genetics, right? So why is it when the slaves came over who were kings and queens, their offsprings didn't
the slaves that came over that were kings and queens? Did you hear this?
They wouldn't be kings and queens if they were slaves, bro.
I don't think they brought kings and queens
they weren't
over.
kings and queens.
Because what happened is that
not kings and queens. Okay, let me not mud it. Okay, cool.
Well, but blacks sold other blacks into slavery. They were captured in wars. So,
but again, you said it was genetic. So there were smart blacks that got brought over here, because we wouldn't have half of the shit that we have if we didn't have the smart blacks that came over.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, you look at African immigrants, they do way better than blacks in America.
Yes,
absolutely.
We're
not talking about African Americans, so let's not muddy the waters.
We're talking about African immigrants, right?
We're talking about slaves. I'm not talking about African Americans.
I'm talking about, well, here's the point I'm trying to make, though, is that the descendants of African slaves have, we used to say American blacks, have a much lower income and wealth than whites. But you look at African immigrants like Nigerians or others, they have a higher average income than whites. That's because the immigrants are selected. Right. The people that come here from Africa today as immigrants are already pre-selected. In other words, we're not just getting a bunch of people, we're getting people that are going to school on a visa, or they're an engineer on a visa or something like that. And so as a consequence, it would be hard to explain through racism why an African can come here and do super, super well, but blacks are mired in poverty if the answer was racism.
Oh, that's
but if the answer is genetics, it's like, well, the general population of blacks here is lower IQ than the average IQ of the immigrants that are coming here from Africa as students or workers or something else.
That's logical. Then?
No.
Because in the USA, the black IQ is lower than the average. But if we bring in blacks from the not USA, then their IQ
and the one we're bringing over just are how.
So doesn't that
left of the bell curve?
That IQ is
how does this girl not understand that they're bringing over the cream of the crop?
Like I said, it's just an
exactly.
So the blacks that are coming over,
are the best.
Like when I'm in Chicago, there's a lot of black Uber drivers, and I talk to them on the way to the airport.
I feel like it's a non sequitur, though.
No, but hang on.
There's a lot of Hispanics that are Uber drivers.
Okay, no, but you're
okay.
Let me finish. Please. And so a lot of the times, they're students, they're software engineers, They're very intelligent. They're very hardworking. And like, I know they're going to make it. I see why average income of a Nigerian is like $80,000 in America. And it's because there's a selection bias.
That's very
high. The selection bias is that the Africans that are coming over as immigrants are higher IQ. And so the function is IQ. The blacks that are here that have an average low IQ have a much lower income. The blacks that are already selected as coming over as students, engineers, have a higher IQ. They do very well.
Okay, so
have you heard
I want to add to what he said real quick before you, because I know you want to switch it. He's correct, because to get an F1 visa, you have to get accepted by some type of university coming to the United States. So that in itself screens out a lot of people that otherwise were morons or wouldn't be able to. Just off of the F1 visa program itself, that screens out a lot of retards.
So they're growing to become better.
Because they can't get an F1 visa and come
These
here
guys are willing to go on Rumble.
They can
you see them
get
advertising
accepted to a
everywhere.
school,
On all the
which meets the
screens.
requirements of university, which are already going to be a lot of Americans out that don't go to college. Sorry,
we gotta get big on YouTube and take the Rumble back, bro. On God.
So you keep talking about genetics. Like, yeah, I inherited some bullshit from my daddy because he lazy and all that type of shit. But that was because he became Americanized.
Her voice is so
In Haiti,
disgusting.
They know their culture. They know who they
I hear it is
are.
my
They're
daddy all types of
embedded in
shit.
who they are. So
What?
yeah. You're gonna get the Nigerian that is doing the things and all of the things. I don't know how to talk, but then you understand what I'm saying, right? So you're gonna get the Nigerian that do all
need to
the
shut up.
things. But if
Dude,
you
this is
have
embarrassing.
a black American who has been stripped of everything that they knew,
He's not understanding the argument. He's arguing about genetics. He's arguing about nurture.
Right? You're gonna get that what you call genetic. Whatever you talking about right there, because when you because like she just said. You just said that black Americans are the ones that have lower IQs.
Did you hear her say
but when
all that stuff and all that stuff?
So disgusting.
Nigeria? I'm sorry. Y'all trying to...
Y'all know what I'm saying.
Y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, but what I'm saying is... What I'm saying is generational curses is real. So that's that genetic you talking about. That's that bullshit.
No accountability. So she's retarded because her parents? Come on now.
That slavery stuff. You get what I'm saying? So yes, that's what you're going to get. So
I believe it.
That's what you're basing it out of, the black American. But when you talk about your Haitians and you're talking about your Hondurans, they black too. When you're talking about your Dominicans, you get what I'm saying? When you're talking about people that are based, their culture is rich than the black American, yes. And that's why they come here and feel some type of way about us because we don't know who we are, my love. So I get it. Go ahead.
I guess like my final point, because I know we're gonna switch topics soon. My final point
Why
would
do they
be
talk?
like as
Why is she
the
talking
person
so
in grad
different?
school,
Like, why can't she talk normally?
Looking at
She's trying to fucking fit in with her other, it's female high mentality, dude.
Was it done in the
All the
US?
others are
Was it done
talking
in a specific
disgusting.
country?
She needs to
At
talk
what
so
time
too.
frame was it done?
Yeah.
What were the methods? Were there blinding? Were there randomization? Were there controls? What were the controls? Everything. And if I'm saying all of these words and no one is understanding what I'm saying, then I really encourage you to try and do some research on how to like interpret research, because it's fun, but it's important to know how to interpret quality research.
A study like that would never get done though because of ethics. Realistically speaking, people are going to get offended and triggered, and it would never get funded because
how it is.
Because here's the other thing too. Like, it's what's the benefit? Like, if you do the study and it comes out negative, and you find out that in fact that people that are black or black Americans have lower IQ, it's going to be terrible. So it's a L all across.
I actually
no one will fund it.
I proposed a study in one of my pathways in school where I wanted to take a look at racial profiling potentially in preschool children. And my mentor said, well, Clammy, if you are doing this study and you find that black children do get expelled more or they are racially profiled, then it begs the question, like, okay, are they more misbehaved? Are they targeted more? And that is something, like the point that you bring up is something we have to be very, very careful of.
Yeah, they wouldn't fund it. But now going back to what you're saying about like, were your parents like first generation? Were their parents born in the United States or were they from?
Blatant corruption in the universities. I'm going to make a video about that on Twitter.
And my dad is Haitian, so my grandfather went through the Jim Crow era, whereas white fountains, black fountains. Yeah. He did not graduate. He did not make it past middle school because he had to help his mother to work. He had to work.
No.
Okay. So my mom came here. Everybody came here around when she was 6. So yeah, it is that South mentality. Like it is, I can only give you what I know, what I got.
I mean,
because
I'll be
this
honest.
is what I know and this is what I got.
I think that's a cop-out because the reality is you're worse off immigrating from a foreign country, not knowing the language, coming over here and trying to make a way than someone that was born and raised here with all the opportunities. You know, people might say, oh, welfare, I'm a product of government cheese and, you know, Section 8, whatever. You're still better off than someone coming from like a Nigeria, a Haiti, whatever. The reality is that a lot of, it's not necessarily that
Myron's
a lot of Black
cooking.
Americans are unsuccessful because they're Black, is because they're just
He just really called them lazy. Dude, this guy is gonna get canned so bad. Dude, this is crazy.
I mean, bro, think of how hard they worked 1.5 million subs.
But I think the reason why is because they don't have the opportunities in their country.
I don't think it's working. Even if they gave me like Bromo gave me back for like 10 minutes, I still wouldn't do it.
Themselves versus someone that was born here.
You know, they are successful and rich, but I value the.
Why they're not where
I
they
don't
want
know,
to
dude.
be.
10 million is an extreme amount of money. That's a lot of money.
I agree
It's not like you have to stop
I agree
putting out
with some of
content. You
that,
just
but
do it
I
on
don't agree
Rumble.
with all of that because we could go back
And
to
you already know
the
Ava and
system.
Preacher gonna make
Systematic
pieces on them.
Wait, damn, bro.
Oh boy.
Dude, I respect though. That's how highly you think of YouTube, huh?
Yeah, it's basically a moniker of status.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, though, money's the real status.
Yeah.
That's the real shit. You think the fucking billionaires in China give a fuck about subscribers?
Yeah.
And that's here. Yeah, the American dream.
Damn, Myron.
So explain to me how
Stop going on this shit, bro.
It's sad because the lowest IQ person always gets the most attention.
Explain to me why they're a failure when someone comes here, doesn't know anything, comes here on a visa, makes their way up, gets a visa to stay here from getting a job and being productive.
Not everybody,
and then they
because
earn their ability to get a US
boy.
citizen. They make
Did
it
you finish
further
the
than
vid?
person that was
The
born here
editing,
that had
the Pierce Morgan
inherent
thing?
advantage.
Almost.
I feel you, but what happened?
Hold on. Yes, they were systematically oppressed. Cool, I get that. But third world poverty is always going to be way worse than American poverty and being oppressed.
Okay, so what happens when a Cuban and a Haitian come? Because I feel what you're saying. I get it
what you're
all,
saying.
but at the same time, it's different when you could come here and you could just get off a ship and you could get more than me than what I work. I'm an American and I work hard. They get a check. They get food stamps. They get everything. Come on. And then I'm working in a system where I see it all the time. It ain't a lot of black.
What is she talking about?
People coming in.
I have no idea.
You don't get given stuff. Like, what is she saying?
Acting like they entitled.
Are you talking about the Cuban wet foot, dry foot
Yes,
policy?
and I was trying to
you know what's that wrong with this?
I was trying to get there.
You're talking about that.
Go ahead, take
It's
it
so
off.
pathetic the extent to which these people will try to excuse failure. That's so pathetic. Imagine blaming your failure on like measly, tiny crumbs of money that like immigrants are sometimes given. That's what you're gonna hang your hat on. That's what you're gonna hang your hat of failure on. That's really, really sad. Really sad.
Status. Your ability to
like imagine saying I couldn't succeed because like I wasn't given a toothbrush or something like that. Like that's so dumb.
No, hold on. And you get a couple of, let's say a couple $1,000s, right? Through the wet foot, dry foot situation. Who's better off, realistically
The
speaking?
person that's coming here off the boat, bro.
No, so
hold on. Can I just real quick? So.
Am I wrong? Am I saying wrong?
So, basically, for me, right? I'm from Barbados.
Okay.
I came here 7 years ago, right? Obviously speaking, I'm not from here, and I didn't even have a job. But what I saw was opportunity. So my mindset is, all right, I'm from a small island, not as successful, not as wealthy, but I come here for opportunity. But at the same time, I saw my peers that were over here, been here for years. They were born in America. They were literally working the same job as me when I got a job, just lazy, doing the same stuff. You know what? I'll be here for 40 years. I'm happy. And I was like, hold on, what's the difference between that person and me? It's the mentality.
Mindset.
So the environment, I agree with you, does breed comfort and I want to say laziness. However, as an individual, if I want to do better for myself and my family, it's up to me to make that choice. So ultimately, I'm saying here, like, it is up to that individual to make a choice. Now, the environment does play a part in it, but once again, it's up to that person. So
okay, my problem with what you and Myron are doing right now, y'all are taking a select few of people and generalizing it. Because there are not that many immigrants coming over here and just being fucking fantastic and amazing. It's not.
That's true.
It is a select amount of people. And at the end of the day, Myron, come sit back down so he can chime in on this. Because at the end of the day, it is still harder to work within a system that is designed against you.
Hold on. Once again,
that is dumb.
It is hard. Right. I admit that. But what is it? It's the mentality. So, for example,
you're right, but I'm saying y'all sitting here taking these couple of encounters
No
and situations
responsibility,
and act like,
like,
look at all these immigrants coming over here.
Responsibility,
And
voluntary
rich
adoption
and-
of responsibility is
and
how you achieve freedom. It's how you get
American-born
what you
blacks are
want.
just fucking lazy. That's
You
not
think we'd be able to
it.
like build a fucking business, gain subscribers, publish videos if we didn't take responsibility for our own actions and just like, come on, dude, you know?
Know for a fact that there's a lot of people who are born here and raised here and don't have nothing going on, don't care to have anything going on. They prefer to live off of the government benefits. Now, do I feel like people who come from out of the country who are immigrants?
Bring the mic closer to you so they can actually hear you. Move it closer to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I feel like, you know, people who come from other countries who are considered immigrants, they feel like, yes, okay, I have something to prove. Let me come over here and let me make better of myself and my situation from where I come from. Yes, I do agree. There are some people who have that drive. However, I just don't feel like we can rationalize on saying, hey,
Take some personal accountability.
It's just
lazy.
Black Americans.
No, I don't.
Bro.
No, I don't want to say that we have it made, but I feel like we have a better opportunity than the people who come from who are immigrants.
No question.
I agree.
I do also feel like what you. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry.
You notice how they're getting upset and subtly worried or even apprehensive at the notion of having their excuses debunked and removed? It's like the idea of them no longer having an excuse to claim of, oh, my life is hard. Once they realize, wait a second, immigrants have it harder and they're doing better. You see the anxiety start to set in. They start to realize they don't have an answer.
Drive for policy. If a Cuban literally if they both made it and they stepped 1 foot on the sand, they get to stay. Haitians do that same exact journey. They step that 1 foot on, they go there, it's right back to Haiti.
Right.
So no,
That's
we
not
can't do that
fair.
either. And Myron, what you missed, what I said was, I don't like how y'all are sitting here trying to overly generalize a select population of people, saying that immigrants who do come over and be successful.
What she's saying is not true.
Y'all making it seem like that is the norm.
Because an extraordinary high number of immigrants come through the border every single year. Millions, and sometimes millions every month from the southern border, from the South American countries. So they're not performing at the levels that, people from Nigeria that are immigrating here as engineers are doing. It's not even close. It's not even close at all.
No, I don't think so. I think culturally, I think culturally, our mindsets are different, because I can see a family, a Mexican family come, everybody stuck in one house, and then somebody buy the next house, and then somebody buy the next, because that is the mentality of the culture. They stick together. I feel like as a people, Black people, we always going neck to neck against each other, which is why we cannot ever come to an agreement.
Damn, Myron just really said that, bro. He just said black people are lazy. What the fuck? Dude, Myron, what the fuck, bro? Dude, he's trying to get canceled. Dude, he's trying to get canceled so hard.
I think so.
No, wow.
I can say this as a landlord. This is a fact. Statistically speaking, the most evicted.
Oh my god. No, don't go there. No. Dude. Oh, Myron. His audience is mostly black. Why is he doing this?
That's a serious the fucking rent. That's a serious problem. Immigrants, on the other hand,
bro, I bet you see this firsthand, don't you?
Don't have
I
citizenship.
do. I completely agree. He says all the wrongs. He's saying all these infallible stuff, but I completely agree. 100%.
I think that
Wow, this is legendary.
I knew this all the stuff since the 5th grade, bro.
I might just throw this up on YouTube, like just plain no editing after this, dude. Is that okay with you? What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
This is just it's kind of legendary. What's happening
The black
here?
community is so coddled that we can't even criticize
And we're
them.
and dude, say it for the camera. We're not Nick Fuentes fans, are we? We're just reacting.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
We're based motherfuckers.
We're just base motherfuckers reacting
as
to
a
this.
Black woman, I feel like there is humility and power in recognizing that we have problems in the Black
Myers.
community.
I agree.
Here's a question: do we put his name in the title or in the thumbnail?
I think have
The
to.
only way to overcome them is to wildly recognize that they exist. I was raised in poverty my whole life. Literally,
We can always
dirt
delete
road
the
poverty.
we can
There
always
was a
delete the
time in my
vid, I guess.
childhood where my damn apartment was on a dirt road, and I had to share it with my mom, my sister. We only had 2 beds and 3 people, 1-bedroom apartment. And now, why am I? What?
Don't worry
Whoa.
about Chris. We saw on YouTube.
I live alone.
Oh shit. Okay. Fuck.
I live alone. But
Did you
to
hear
get
that
back
shit?
to my point,
What do you
now
say?
I am where
Wait,
I am.
did you hear that shit?
Most Black people
Hear what?
who came from my situation will not be what
I just heard something. Chris say something about Jew. That's it.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Okay.
is not very
Moving
common
on,
in
just
the Black
moving on.
community, and that pains me. That absolutely hurts my soul. And I feel like tenacity can be taught. I feel like work
She's so
ethic
nice
can
about
be
it,
taught.
This is so raw. This is really cool.
It's so cute.
Should we put Nick Fuentes in the title?
I would just put something like Rick Fuentes, not like necessarily his name. But, you know, Rick.
My option is not
Just change the name up or something.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
some
some-
people
Or just put the most
for themselves.
banned person on the internet. It's a pseudonym.
It's mindset. Man.
Okay.
But I'm
gonna keep
forgetting my point. I need something to write with.
And I say that with love. I'm never trying to argue or anything.
I don't think so.
Let's change gears here.
Right.
And we got a lot of chats. It's Friday. We got the chats.
Oh shit.
So
Nick, did you have anything before we switch over to chats
No.
on this topic?
Yeah, I think we exhausted this one.
okay, so Venom
I need
says,
to
question for the ladies: is there a guy you dated in the past you still think about till this day, and would you want to get back with the opportunity present itself? So there's a guy that is still on your mind.
No.
Yes.
You laugh. There
Yeah.
probably is a guy, right?
I only got one that I can literally say I blew.
Okay.
Only one.
Facts.
Well, let's start here. Is there a guy for you that you dated in the past that's still on your mind?
No, the man that I'm with now is so amazing.
That's a very good answer.
Period.
What about you? Guy in the past?
Maybe one.
Would you get back with him if the opportunity presented itself?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. For you? I know there's a yes for that.
I don't know. Like,
They should
it depends on my
they should
ex
ask
in the
Nick.
past, but
Can't get over him?
it's not that I can't get over him. Like I
Okay.
just
He
fuck
was
with
black?
him.
Is that the game?
Yeah.
Was he
BBC
black?
gang?
He was black.
Of course.
Was it Jamal?
It's crazy, dude.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so yes for you.
Yeah.
Yeah? For you?
I blew it once.
Yeah.
Wait, you blew him one time?
No, I said I blew it once.
Twice. I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I blew him a lot of times though.
Was your guy black too?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, she's from Dallas.
She from South Dallas.
South Dallas. Okay. For you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was he black as well?
Yeah.
Definitely. And then for you?
No, there's no guy. I'm with the guy that I want to be with.
Stop the cap.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to say that.
Dude, okay.
It's
Can I
have to be watching this. This might be
Right, thank you. I'm 33.
Tom Phillips says, that's your opinion.
This is super crazy.
Camp 2 times.
That's your yeah.
Ladies.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Ladies, what are the characteristics of a good father in your opinion? Besides
It's
him,
not
just
actually
being
crazy,
there
but
or
according to
active?
the, communist
How many
guidelines
have
of
dads
this
that were active in
terrible
your life?
website.
One. Okay.
Good job.
Junior, $20. Kiki Palmer was recently at an Usher concert dressed provocatively.
I recorded a video to
Usher.
this.
Question for the ladies: do you think it's okay for women to do what they want while they're in a relationship but not married?
No.
Okay.
Damn, the entire panel's against Kiki Palmer.
And I'm an answer.
So are all of you
Base.
saying? Are all of you
Dude,
saying
wow, that's
no?
actually surprisingly based.
For
Yeah.
your man, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, just respect your
Step
man.
further.
For respect.
Well, do you think it's appropriate for you to go to the nightclub when you have a man?
Yeah, we can
If
still
it's
pop
okay,
out.
Hold on. Raise your hands if you think it's okay to go to the nightclub when you have a man. All right, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. All right. So.
But isn't it funny?
talk
Very
about
interesting.
it.
There's so many ushers in these nightclubs
Yeah.
that want you. So you're just saying the opposite from what you said earlier. Because in that environment, who's going to come talk to you? Those ushers.
But not everyone goes to
They
the
said
nightclub.
if your man's okay with it.
Right, but me and
If
my
your
man,
man's
we
okay with it.
yeah,
But,
pretty chill.
hold on, but ideally, in that environment, would your man truly be happy with you being there? Be honest.
No.
So why he ain't come up and say something?
Because he's scared to lose your ass. That's what it is.
No, that don't make sense. Nah.
If he's secure, then I feel like
No.
We agree with you. If he's secure, he would tell you. But let's be
no, not tell you, but like Okay, so it would be like if a girl's out at the nightclub doing like single shit, like talking to all these boys, you know,
Girls doing
whatever she
single
wants, acting
shit
like she's
while they're
single,
in a
that's
relationship. You
different.
can't
But
make
if
this
she's
up.
like just going out to the club with her girls, drinking, you know, having fun, but like,
Oh my god.
Wouldn't it be fair to say that is single girl shit too?
yeah, I guess, yeah, like in a way.
No.
But at the same time, like you can still have like a man and act like you're in a relationship and not be on that single shit. Like you're loyal to your man, you're loyal to your man.
But
Like
isn't the club a single girl's place in general?
not really though.
Really?
No, because there's couples that go out,
Exactly.
like you
Dude,
know.
what
something
couples
about
go to the
secure.
club? Come on,
What were you
dude. Just
saying
stay at
about
home.
that?
Let her
No.
suck your dick and watch
Secure?
Netflix.
Like,
You know what I mean?
Not like okay, like
Why-
securing
Oh, God.
yourself. Also, like you guys are on the same exact page. Like I don't want
If you
anybody
go
else.
out,
I
why
don't want
go to the
anybody
club?
else. Like I can go to the club and have the time of my life, but not flirt with anybody, not talk to a man or something. And I still had a really good time. And I come back home to my man. And
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How about if your man went to the club and on top of that, you knew that there were going to be women that are better looking than you there, that have more money than you there, they're inviting him to sections, they're giving him opportunities, they're
Is he
offering
going
hold on,
to
hold on,
these
hold on,
sections?
Hold on. He's getting offered all types of things, and there's a bunch of females there that are better than you in every single way, better than you in every way, better looking than you, better talking than you, have more money than you. We're giving him offers, want to fly him out, all this shit, and he gets free alcohol. Would you feel as comfortable with your man being there, and they would fuck him right then and there? Would you be okay with that?
I would say if my man wants them, then he can go have them. Right.
No. But would you realistically be okay with you sitting your ass at home and
I'm
him going
secure
there?
with myself. So if my man is being loyal to me and I know he's being loyal to me, then I'm gonna be at home like waiting for him to come home. But
No.
That's not
Given the factors I just gave you, with the scenario that I just gave you, would you realistically be okay? It's easy for you to say that
okay,
now.
yeah, I would have that thought in the back of my head,
Thank you.
obviously.
Thank you.
But,
Then how can you expect a man to be okay with you going to the club?
well, I feel like that's just like.
Trust, huh?
See, no.
Like,
You
people
want to know why? You
So
go ahead and
crazy.
say this, no offense, with all due respect, this bullshit female double standard that you're trying to say right now. The reason why women say that is because you know deep down, your man, when he goes to the club, he's not going to have nearly as many options as when you go to the club. So you actually hold the leverage. But if you knew that your man was going to get the same amount of attention, the same amount of girls hitting him up, girls that are better looking than you, that will fly him out, give him money, give him alcohol, and fuck him that night, you would not be okay with it.
A man will fuck a girl that doesn't even look better than his whatever.
What men are you
You're
dating?
missing the point.
I feel
There's
like-
better women at the club, and you can go
Regardless,
there and
if
they
he-
want to talk to him and want to give him attention. You would not be okay with that.
There's always.
I wouldn't. I
gonna
don't
be
even want
better
my man to go
women,
outside when I got a
better
man.
looking
So
It doesn't matter
if we
where
are going
you are.
together or we
It
ain't
doesn't matter.
going.
He carries himself.
Ladies, if you actually take what I said and you put yourself in that position and your man has that opportunity to go to the club, none of y'all would be okay with him going. But for some odd reason, you tell
I
us
just
to be
said I wouldn't.
secure. No, I know that. But I'm saying most girls will sit there and say, no, just be secure in yourself. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. But if the roles were reversed and men had the same amount of opportunity in the nightclub that women did, none of y'all would be okay with it. It's the biggest fucking lie.
It's true.
The reason why women say that dumb shit of, I should be able to go to the club and you can go to the club too, is because women know deep down that a guy doesn't have a fraction of the chance that a woman has when she goes to the club. An average looking bitch can go in the club, go, ah, make some weird ass noises. Whoa. Dude's gonna hit on her. And I go in the club and go, ah, I'm gonna go to fucking jail, bro. Like, it's not happening.
As you should.
It's not happening.
Crazy.
What's your thoughts on it? Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
I agree. I think that women shouldn't go out if they're already anchored, unless it's with the man. So I agree. Stay out of the club. Nothing good happens in the club. You know why you're there.
So
You know
we're
what you're
supposed to
looking
sit at
for.
home?
Okay.
Yep.
We're supposed to just sit at home and do nothing.
Well, there's other homes to do.
Yeah.
Lives while we're
Yeah.
together.
Work on some recipes or something. I don't know. Work on some of the
He got them
generational
triggered. These
Haitian
are
food.
21st century women, honey. They said recipes.
I don't think it's nothing wrong. Listen, I don't think it's about be secure in who you. I think it just depends on the person. I really don't think about. I can have all that shit in my head, but at the same time, like, if that's what you want to do, bro, do that.
That's
Because
what
when
you're
you've been
gonna do.
cheated on, when you've been going through
You
so
don't
much
care
stuff,
about all that.
like all that, if that's what you're gonna do
Stay
that.
fuck nigga free.
I hit a violin. But at the same time, it's true though. Like if a person gonna do what they want to do, regardless, like you don't have control over another individual.
That
Are
is
you in
true.
an open relationship?
But it could be single.
Am I in an open
Right after.
relationship?
She
No,
is.
ma'am.
She
Oh, I
is.
thought you meant like whatever you were going through, go ahead and do it. Like you would still stay with them.
No, but
Hold
she's
on,
been
wait.
off now for 8 years, so she is open.
No.
To guys.
I've, yeah. If you off,
Didn't you
if
say
I'm
you
off,
don't-
I'm open.
Yeah, I
If
told you,
I'm
right?
home, I ain't open.
Okay, but
women shouldn't
realistically
go to the
speaking,
club.
like, so do you guys still think it's appropriate to go to the club, given if the roles were reversed and what I just in the scenario I described?
Yes.
Go to the club, babe. If that's what you want to do, go with your friends. Do what you got
Okay, I have
to
a
do.
question
What
for
you
you.
want.
Would you be okay with your woman, your potential wife, having an IQ of 95?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, then what is
Absolutely fucking not, dude. That's
What
why
is-
what I never agree with FNF is when they say, "Oh, men don't care about women's career intelligence." I actually absolutely do care. She needs to be in a position that shows or identifies high IQ.
I understand. For me, okay, I'll tell you my perspective, and then I have another question. But for me, my perspective is I don't expect her to be able to totally keep up as long as she can appreciate my leadership. Then it's enough. So my question is, then what would be like a threshold of enough? Are we talking 115, 105, 120?
120, 115. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, yeah,
at least one standard
that's
deviation
good.
over the average. Yeah. Mhm.
That's good. One standard
I'm
deviation
trying
is
to find
120.
I'm trying to find bitches from med school, good schools, or any good high IQ jobs. No, I am never marrying a dumb bitch, bro. Oh, God.
Sure. I mean, but the thing is some women that are less intelligent would probably make better wives if they are more, because they could be more dedicated, more nurturing, more feminine, potentially.
That is true, but I'm looking out for my kids. I'm setting my kid up for the best chance of survival.
Think of it. Okay, I kind of align with Andrew Tate on this, where it's like the mother's role for raising the kids is to be a very feminine, nurturing force. I don't need her to teach them algebra. I just need her to be like a good person. That's sort of how I look at it, and then I can take care of the rest.
I agree, but I actually, maybe you can call me delusional, but I think I can have a woman that is very nurturing and great mothering, but also have very high intelligence and probably by virtue a great career.
Hey, dude, the benefit of being a man is you can achieve whatever
do
you
whatever
want.
the fuck you want.
You can achieve whatever you want, but you just have to work hard enough. So, I mean, that might take you a while, but if you really are dedicated to that, you can find it. That'll be difficult, though. You'll have to have really, really fucking high status to pull, like, a girl with a PhD and make her to submit to you, and basically... Because, keep in mind, they spend years and years and years becoming more masculine in order to rise to the top of competence hierarchies. That's not easy to just overcome, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of an interesting segue, interesting topic.
Her mom and them do certain stuff, and so if you're growing up and my mama got a boyfriend and she goes to the club, that teaches you that it's okay to go to the club.
I'm in a
when you
monologue
have a
right now, by the way.
boyfriend.
I
How's
kind
the
of
edit going?
disagree with that as well.
Good. I paused it because I'm listening to you and this. I can't do three at a
I
time.
feel like it's all
Understandable.
perspective. If I'm a humble person and I know I respect myself and I know I respect myself and I respect my relationship, I'm not gonna go to a nightclub with the intent to be a cheater or
right, but it's not about intent, baby.
Exactly, I agree.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think it has anything to do with how you were raised 100%. I don't feel like it has anything to do whether you grew up in a 2-parent home or a single home. I feel like it's just you. Like
you have a different set of values when you grow up with 2 parents that are happy.
Yes, that is true. However, I just feel like, again, perspectives, because I can grow up in a home that probably wasn't a 2-parent home, right? Which I did off and on. However, I just feel like if you are a person who is self-aware, you don't necessarily go out with the intent to be this.
I got a question for you, because you like to use this word intent. So every single time you had sex, you intended on having sex, or sometimes it's like, damn, that shit just happened.
No, but we're not talking about sex, though.
No, but I'm talking about your overly use of the word intent. Because you don't have to go somewhere with intending on doing X, Y, and Z, but sometimes X, Y, and Z just happens.
That's why you shouldn't be having sex. Has nothing to do with me coming from a 2-parent home
really,
either.
really interesting and eye-opening. Let me ask you ladies a question. Let's say we're dating, right? And I'm a bum. I don't smell that good, and I'm not in shape, right? And would you, would you take me seriously? Would you, yes or no?
No.
You're a bum? No.
I'm a bum. I don't smell too well, and I don't go to the gym. Would you take me seriously?
No.
Come up to you? No?
No. It would end up not smelling good. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you don't,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
No, it would never be an option.
All right, what about you? No? Okay. What about you?
I say no.
All right, what about you?
Can you repeat your question?
If I come up and I try to hit on you, try to date you or whatever, and I don't smell that good, I'm not in shape and I'm broke, what would you say?
No.
Okay, what about you?
No, exclamation point.
Okay, now, let's have some fun with it. But I tell you, hold on, wait! My mom, she didn't teach me how to shower, man. I came from a single mom household. She didn't tell me to make money, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Give me a chance. You gotta understand, bro. I just have a single mom. What are you gonna say?
No.
Oh, isn't it interesting how women don't give a fuck about my background? Do they?
That's not true.
Stop. You just said no.
I didn't even
Women,
say no.
this is what
I
I'm trying to
just
say.
said.
No. This is the difference between men and women. Women are not forced to take accountability for being fuck-ups. Men are, though.
True.
If I come up to you and I'm a loser, I can't sit there and say, but my mom, she didn't teach me how to do it. Single mother household. But y'all are over here trying to literally validate going to the club and being sluts because you came from a single mother household. Fuck that shit. Y'all would never accept me for being a loser. I'm not going to accept
similar
you for
theme
being
of
a whore.
constant excuses again.
You guys know that is wrong, but you decide, you know what? I'm a boss, babe. I'm independent. Fuck this nigga. I still want to go to the club. I don't.
It's not
You know
about
it's wrong.
that.
You know it's wrong.
We don't go to the club.
But there's only two of us that said that we wouldn't do it.
If we
It was
had
her
a
and I. And in my defense, I didn't come from, y'all know I didn't come from a two-parent household.
Yeah.
My behaviors and things like that, fuck you, Chris.
She belongs to the street.
My behaviors and things like that come from time and experience and growth.
Yes.
Like, so.
But can we admit?
So I'm not sitting here blaming like
it's choice.
Single. It's complete choice. That's all it is.
So then, if the man is worth anything, and you want to keep him.
Yes.
Ultimately, he wants you to be what?
You just don't go
Right.
to
I mean, but obviously they don't value their men like they should.
I just find it funny that women expect us to care about why they're the way they are, but y'all would never give a fuck why we are the way we are.
I care. No, I do. And that's fair.
That's what I mean when I say women cannot take accountability is fantastic. But Nick, you had anything on this? Y'all really can't.
I agree. I agree. Double standard when it comes to the
At
women.
the smell bad, though.
What was that?
I said it ended at the smell bad. I didn't say anything about you being broke. I was just saying if you smell bad.
If you smell bad, I'm not doing
That's what I said, though. That's literally what I said.
Hold on. I get that, but the point is that you don't give a fuck why I smell bad. It's just you just care that I smell.
Hey, I'm gonna go, okay?
Like,
I'm gonna work on the edit while listening to this.
That's
All
it.
Right, sounds good, dude.
Call me first, yeah.
Grown-ass man not showering.
Okay. You're a grown-ass woman in a relationship going to the club.
But I'm not, though.
That's two different things.
It is. And if okay, so Ryan, if we have a conversation and you say, I don't want you to go to the club for X, Y, and Z, and you lay down why and it's valid, okay, I won't go.
Whoa. Why do I gotta explain myself when you wouldn't give a fuck if I explain myself for being a loser?
What you mean? I have to know what I have to know who I'm dealing with. So if I know your background,
Crazy
I have to
episode, bro.
I have to have
This
some
is a
type of
crazy episode.
understanding.
Yeah, period.
Okay.
I have to have some type of understanding.
Yo, this is crazy.
A man does not want to explain everything.
And neither do I. But I do because I'm in a relationship.
But see, the fact is, right? You're right. Most women don't know how they should act. However, you know what's right and wrong. So ultimately, you know what to do. But as a leader, if he tells you what to do, then and you want to be with him, you're gonna do it. But
Yo, this is why feminism is bad. It's crazy because women think
I ain't
that
no
they
feminist.
could do. You're literally accepting a feminist doctrine right now by trying to sit there and say a man needs to explain to you why you shouldn't go to the club. That's feminist
I'm
mindset.
saying, I'm saying, if I say, yo, babe, I want to go out, and he be like, nah, G, that's not what we do. That's not how we doing this because I'm dumb, bum.
Nah,
I
G.
like bum. That's what it is. That's what it is. Right. All right. Cool. Like, I'm not gonna go again because if I want to be with this man, if I really want this relationship, I'm not gonna go.
Stop the show.
You said stop the show.
We're at the club, right? Some dude grabs your ass, and we're in a relationship. We've been together for 10 years.
No.
I look at you, I look at him, and he runs away. He doesn't do shit. Sorry, I don't do anything. What are you doing?
Why? Wait a minute. I'm with my guy.
Yes.
And
I'm
the
with
guy
you.
touches me.
Guy comes
and he
up.
don't do nothing about the guy touching me.
Yes. Yeah. And then and matter of fact, on top of that, I look at you and I say, what do you want me to do here?
I would already check the situation in the first place. That's number one.
What would you do?
I guess we leaving because you don't fight.
She said, I guess we leaving.
Because we ain't fight. Because you ain't no fighting.
All right, hold on, stop the show. So it's because I didn't do my masculine duty and protect you, right? That was a problem. I had to even ask you, right? That's a problem. So why the fuck should I tell you to be a lady and stay at home?
Damn!
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yo, this is what's crazy to me about women. Like, y'all expect us, right?
I'm not a lady because I want to go out with.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you expect me to be a traditional man and put my life on the line to protect your dumb ass that doesn't even want to listen to me at the club, right? But on the other hand, my authority, right? You want me to have this responsibility over you, but without the authority, you should be able to do whatever you want, but I got to be able to put my fucking life on the line and protect you. So in other words, I must be a traditional man at all times, but you can pick and choose when you want to be a lady. You want to go to the club here? Go ahead. You don't have to be a lady in this instant, but I always have to be a traditional man. Tell me why that's a good deal for me. It's not.
It's unfair.
So why would I commit to a girl like you when I could just get a girl that I don't have to tell you can't go to the club? I'm just gonna get a girl that does her fucking job, just like me, always doing my job. She doesn't ask me to do my job, be a man, pay the bills, take care of me, protect me. Why should I have to tell her, be a lady, stay in the house? It's not a good deal for me.
Fair point.
That's why we don't commit to you girls that want to go to the club and say, oh, I'm single. Act like you're single when you have a man at home. We just don't take y'all serious.
But what about
Is the club
men in the club when he has a woman at home?
I hate going to the club, child. I work in the club. I hate going
Yeah,
to
it
the
ain't
club.
that deep.
For you,
but
right? Did your man tell you, listen, sit down?
Nope.
Let me explain to you.
I acted right from jump.
But why? Because you saw
Because
value
I
in him.
was scared to lose him. This
Exactly.
man is everything.
Exactly.
Let me not get like.
Get like that. That's your guy.
But you saw the value in your man, so you know what? I don't want to fuck this up at all.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you know what you need to do.
Yes.
And you don't do it because you don't want to fuck it up.
Maybe you don't respect the guy that you're with if you're willing to go in a situation.
Exactly.
Whereas,
And maybe you don't
she
realize,
values
and maybe you
her
don't even
man.
realize that you
Right.
don't respect him as much as you think
Listen,
you do.
that is
You know what I mean?
but
Something
all
like that
these
too.
women, all these women talk about, I want a man who takes the lead, who opens my door, he pays for the date, we get an ice cream cone, he plans the vacation, everything. I have that, and I know that if you ladies were in that, you would fall in line so quick.
absolutely.
And I know it. And I know it.
And I got cheated
wanna ask
on.
this.
Saying that I don't know.
First of all, I'm sorry.
You can
And I got
but
cheated
to be
on.
fair,
That's actually hard.
I'm really sorry.
To be fair though, most men are not going to be that leader that you need. But when you do find that man, you still go to the club, it's your fault. You fucked it up.
Correct.
So,
I mean, if you get cheated on, that's not your fault, and that is
I
really
know
hard.
it's not.
I'm sorry
I'm just
you went
saying,
through that.
like, I was at home. I was like at home.
Yeah.
And I got cheated on. So like,
She was doing what she needed to be doing and still got cheated on.
I'm really
Yeah, so what y'all gotta say about that,
you behaving or not, they gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like if I go to the club, I'm gonna be totally like I'm on my own. Like nobody's talking to me, nothing. Like okay.
I have a question.
Did your guy have money?
Were there
Your
any-
guy that you claim?
No, he had money.
Yes,
he had
He
money.
had money.
Okay. So did he take care of you?
Of course. Well, I'm not gonna stay
Put
with
her in a
someone who
house,
cheated on
pay
me.
the
Then hold on. With all due respect, then you're dumb for leaving your guy that was
you
taking care of
definitely
you.
should've
No,
stayed with him.
because you can't matter because he got money. Like I'm not in a relationship because of money.
Look.
It's like we
No, I
live
get
we
that.
in
I
this
get
for the
that.
rest of our lives type shit.
Okay,
Like,
I get that. We can have the fairy tale and all that shit. But the reality is, what percentage of men do you think can actually take care of a woman where she doesn't have to work and pay the majority of the bills and put her up in a house?
she does work.
No, no.
I was working on the side, but like I wasn't.
She paid the majority of the bills, correct? And you worked electively.
Yes.
In other words, you don't have to work. Okay, so my point is this. What percentage of men do you think actually can take care of you where they're paying a majority of the bills, you're working from an elective standpoint, not a mandatory standpoint, very important, and have an abundance of income?
I have standards and I have self-respect,
That's not
and
the
I'm
question.
not gonna stay
That's
with
not the
someone who
question.
cheated
That's
on
not
me.
the question.
No matter how much money he has.
Okay, that's cool.
Period.
But that's not the question. What percentage of men actually do you think meet
I
this
don't
metric?
know.
They
Okay.
don't.
So here's the difference. There's a
Okay,
minority of
we're
men
just
that
back
can
to the
actually
typical
do that.
delusion of fresh and
However,
fit,
there's
you
a
know,
majority of women that are beautiful,
framing
that
the
maybe
insanity of
younger than
modern
you,
women.
better
So I'm
looking
going to
than
end
you, whatever it may
the
be.
recording
If
here.
you secured that
I think
guy and
I
he
think I've
goes fuck
covered
some other
what
bitch,
was
it ain't that big of a deal
extremely
because
revolutionary
that's your problem when
in
you deal with
a
a successful
or
guy. That's
at
a
least
successful
you know,
guy
out of the
problem a lot of
ordinary.
times. They're gonna fuck other bitches.
Very out of
my
the
problem
ordinary.
anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fresh and Fit get banned from this conversation, but it is a very interesting
Yeah, go ahead,
conversation.
bro.
you know what's funny about this? You leave.
Like and subscribe, guys. If this goes up, it probably won't stay up for a long time.